Hello everyone, welcome to Prep myself Karuna Mishra, and today we are starting the crash course of Science and Technology focusing UPSC Prelims 2023. In this crash course, we will focus on the current affairs from different areas of science and technology, and we will also try to study the basic concepts, the basic technologies behind them. For example, if I am talking about Aditya L1 mission, then I will also teach you what are the different layers of the sun, what is the solar chromosphere, why corona and coronal mass ejection can be an issue with the communication GPS of Earth. Then we will also discuss, for example, the Gaganyaan mission. In Gaganyaan mission, you are now using the GSLV Mark III, also now renamed as LVM3, launcher, rocket launcher, or the launch vehicle, and how the different stages of this launch vehicle makes it so efficient. What are the different types of launch vehicle? We will also have a very brief discussion. So without further ado, let us start the first part of science and technology, that is space technology. Now, given the quantum of news and the basics that space technology requires you to read, I have divided this lecture into two parts. So we will be finishing space technology as space technology part 1 and space technology part 2. I request you all to go through the videos, note down, take the running notes. Do not rely too much on the PPTs, for the fact that PPTs are something for us to give you a better visual representation. But I would request you to make your own notes, that is running notes. Do not spend too much time also, so that it is able, it will enable you to do a quick revision right before your prelims. Chaliye. So we will start with the first area of science and technology, that is my Gaganyaan mission. Now, why Gaganyaan mission is so important? Gaganyaan mission is an extremely ambitious mission by ISRO. Why it is considered as one of the most ambitious mission? First, it is the first manned mission of ISRO. Second, this human flight mission will also carry a robot, a humanoid robot called Vyomitra. Third, it is a technological demonstration on the part of ISRO towards the world, which will make ISRO the fourth country to do so. Also, India plans on exploring other planets, other types of moons. For example, in Mangalyaan mission, we are very aggressively taking the pictures of the two moons of the Mars, etc. So we plan on exploring the other areas, and humans flight mission can be a big step. Why? Because NASA already wants to put humans on moon, not just to go there like Neil Armstrong and just come back as, to simply have a point that we sent our first man to moon, but also so that you can do the in situ experiments, etc. So if NASA already is sending somebody to moon, then ISRO, it is high time that ISRO starts with the low Earth orbit, and then eventually we will go. So this is what makes Gaganyaan extremely important for your prelims and mains. More so, Gaganyaan mission has been delayed. Gaganyaan mission was supposed to take place, or according to the speech of our Prime Minister, on the 75th Independence Day year, that is the year of 2022, a son or a daughter of India shall be in space. That is what Mr. Modi had said, but then it got delayed, and it got delayed because of the COVID issues, and since there was Russia-Ukraine war, and Russia is helping India to train the astronauts, whom India will call Vyomnauts. So the Russian astronauts are called as cosmonauts. Astronaut is the word which is used by NASA, but the people or the citizens of India who will visit space will be called as Vyomnauts. So now, what is the problem is, when you go through current affairs material, you will find these two news articles, that is about a crew module and then about an HS-200 booster for the Gaganyaan mission. Now you have to understand, these are in between things. So let us first understand Gaganyaan mission. Where does this HS-200 booster stands, and what is this crew module we are talking about? So what is Gaganyaan mission? This is a mission which aims to demonstrate the capability to launch human beings. How many? 3. And to launch these 3 crew members for how many days? 7 days. For 7 days they will be rotating around Earth. Right? And for this, I will need a launch vehicle, I will need a unit which will carry the humans, I will need a unit which will carry on the experiments, and this unit combinedly will be called as orbiter unit. I will show it to you. I need three technical advancements here, or three aspects of this mission. First is the launch, then the ascent towards the low Earth orbit, and then the re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. So you will also see that ISRO has successfully done that with the Indian Navy, the recovery trials. So this recovery trials is for the launch as well as the ascent. So first, what is Gaganyaan mission? The demonstration of capability launch human beings. How many? 3, along with one robot which will be called as Vyom Mitra, right? Where will they bring them back? They will bring them back after their 7 days flight by landing them in either Bay of Bengal or in the Arabian Sea. This was the infographic which was released by ISRO. Although the launch has been delayed, here the launch has been written as the 2022. So let us very quickly look at the the figures that might come in your exam. One, the cost is less than 10,000 crores. India shall be the 4th nation to launch a manned mission after USA, Russia and China. Also, it will use the GSLV Mark III, which is the most sophisticated launch vehicle by ISRO. Now, very carefully listen to me about the launch vehicle technology. In the launch vehicle technology, 3 launch vehicles are important right now. If I talk about the generations, then it is the satellite launch vehicle. It started with the Rohini sounding rockets. First is Rohini sounding rockets. What are Rohini sounding rockets? Sounding rocket is nothing but an instrument loaded rocket, or where the payload are those instruments which, when released into the lower Earth orbits, basically assess that whether the payload can be launched थ्रू दी लॉन्च व्हीकल. तो बेसिकली क्या होता है, मेरे पास अगर कोई सैटेलाइट है या मेरे पास लेटेस्ट से गगनयान मिशन ही है, तो रादर देन डायरेक्टली लॉन्चिंग इट इनटू द स्पेस, आई फर्स्ट सेंड दी sounding rockets to check whether the atmosphere, the amount of the waves or the radiations of the solar flares, anything is not going to hamper my device or instrument. तो सबसे पहले बनाए थे हमने साउंडिंग रॉकेट्स, और उन साउंडिंग रॉकेट्स की कैटेगरी को क्या नाम दिया गया? रोहिणी साउंडिंग रॉकेट्स. Rohini sounding rockets are still being made. Again, if I have to launch any payload into any orbit, then I use the sounding rockets. Then came the first generation of my launch vehicles, that is my satellite launch vehicle, or SLV. SLV is a 4-stage solid booster launch vehicle which had a very limited journey it could take. It could take very limited load, something around 100-150 kgs, and could not go beyond low Earth orbit. ASLV, or augmented satellite launch vehicle, again had its limitation. It was a 5-stage, again solid fuel. With solid fuel, I had a limitation of not being able to go beyond low Earth orbit. This is why liquid fuel system is so important. PSLV, which is the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, is the launch vehicle which uses liquid as the 3rd stage, or the second alternate stage, or the 3rd type of launch vehicle is PSLV with liquid propellant. Liquid propellant not only has better thrust, it also allows my spacecraft to carry more load. So let us revise. It was sounding rockets, Rohini class. Then came satellite launch vehicle, 4-stage, solid fueled. Then came augmented satellite launch vehicle, 5-stage, again solid fuel. And then came the PSLVs, 4-stage launch vehicle with an alternate solid liquid propellant. With the liquid propellant, now ISRO was able to not only launch the payload. Now when I use the word payload can be a satellite, orbiter, anything. So it could now launch the payload not just beyond the low Earth or the medium Earth orbit, but also to the geosynchronous orbit, 36,000 kilometers. Right? We can recall all that. Geosynchronous orbit कितनी थी? 36,000 kilometers. किसके लिए मैं use कर रही थी? Telecommunication, for communication satellite. Right? Why it is called geosynchronous? Because it is synchronized with the rotation of Earth. चलिए, coming back to PSLV. PSLV इतना powerful launch vehicle बन गया. Why? Because of liquid fuel that Chandrayaan 1 mission किसके through launch किया था मैंने? PSLV. और finally the 4th stage or the most advanced launch vehicle is the GSLV Mark III launch vehicle. GSLV Mark III uses cryogenic technology or cryogenic fuel क्रायोजेनिक का क्या मतलब होता है कि मैंने लिक्विड हाइड्रोजन को यूज करा है अपने लॉन्च व्हीकल में. लिक्विड हाइड्रोजन हैज वन ऑफ द हाईएस्ट एफिशिएंसी एज अ फ्यूल. सो आई हैव solid fueled satellite launch vehicle ASLV, augmented satellite launch vehicle, and then solid liquid fueled PSLVs, which could also take the payload not just up to geosynchronous orbit but also to the high earth orbits or beyond the earth's orbit. Let us say for example Chandrayaan 1. GSLV is a 3-stage launch vehicle. First stage is solid, second is liquid, and third is cryogenic stage. हमेशा एक शॉर्टकट याद रख लीजिए, भले ही मिसाइल लॉन्चिंग हो या फिर आपकी सैटेलाइट लॉन्चिंग हो, द फर्स्ट स्टेज इज ऑलवेज सॉलिड फ्यूल, which is called as the solid booster stage. Why? Because it provides a great thrust for the takeoff. So this is my GSLV, till GSLV, the journey of GSLV. And now the GSLV, which is ISRO's pride, also called as the Fat Boy. It is called as Fat Boy. Why? PSLV is called as the workhorse of ISRO. Why it is called the workhorse of ISRO? Because it provides maximum revenue, does maximum satellite launch. GSLV is called the Fat Boy because of its capacity. It is a huge launch vehicle and can take payload up to 4000 kg, 4 ton capacity. कहाँ तक? Up to geosynchronous orbit. And if you are launching only till low Earth orbit, then the capacity of GSLV is up to 8 tons, 8000 kgs. So this makes GSLV a very highly efficient launch vehicle. Why? Because of cryogenic fuel technology. Now let us understand what am I going to use in Gaganyaan mission. In Gaganyaan mission, I have 3 parts. First is the crew module, next is the service module, and third is the orbiter module. Orbiter module is nothing but the combination of crew module and service module. Crew module is the module which is created. It is a pressurized module in which the atmospheric pressure is maintained so that the humans can survive. The 3 crew members can survive in this and can do their bodily functions for 7 days when they will be in the low Earth orbit. The service module does on-orbit servicing. What are on-orbit servicing? Giving you the data related to the atmosphere in the low Earth orbit, doing the atmospheric different types of experiments, or whatever the payload will be added to Gaganyaan, that work will be done by the service module. So it will be the unpressurized module. The crew module will be the pressurized module which will support human life, and service module will be the unpressurized module. This combined is called as the orbital module. Which launch vehicle it will be mounted on? It will be mounted on human rated launch vehicle. Also the GSLV Mark 3 ही है, but I am calling it HLV Mark 3. That is human rated launch vehicle. Alright, so this is what I can say the Gaganyaan modules will look like. The crew module, which is the habitable part, it will have pressurization, it will support the life support systems for whom? For the crew members. The service module will be the unpressurized structure. It will contain the propulsion system. Now I know what is propulsion system, which uses fuel to provide thrust so that the payload can be launched into the desired orbit. It will have the power system and the avionics. What are the avionics? Which allows for the orbital movement of my payload around the Earth. It will also together be called as the orbital module, which will orbit the Earth at a velocity of approximately 8000 meters per second. हमको 7800 meters याद नहीं रहेगा, 8000 meters per second की स्पीड से ये अर्थ को रोटेट रिवॉल्व करेगा and will be synchronized with the rotation of the earth. अब इसमें मेरा जो Mark 3 है, LMV-3 रॉकेट, जो कि प्रीवियसली GSLV Mark 3 कहलाता था, इसको मैं ह्यूमन रेटेड डेवलप कर रही हूँ. तो बच्चे, दिस इज़ वेयर द करंट अफेयर्स कम्स. आपने क्या पढ़ा है करंट अफेयर्स में कि सॉलिड बूस्टर HS-200, लिक्विड स्टेज विकास इंजन टेस्टिंग एंड क्रायो स्टेज C-25 by 7th April and 17th April. All of these 3 stages have been successfully tested. The solid stage, which is the HS 200 stage, this is important, please take it down. The solid stage or the solid booster stage HS200 has been successfully tested. The liquid stage, which will use Vikas engine, has also been successfully tested, and the cryogenic stage, which will use liquid hydrogen as the fuel, has also been successfully tested. Okay. Now I have also tested the crew escape system. जो आपने करंट अफेयर्स में पढ़ा है, वो जो क्रू एस्केप सिस्टम है, उसको भी मैंने महेंद्रगिरी हिल पे, आई हैव द सेंटर ऑफ इसरो फ्रॉम वेयर द क्रू एस्केप सिस्टम हैज़ ऑल्सो बीन टेस्टेड. और ये जो क्रू एस्केप सिस्टम टेस्ट हुआ है, इट हैज़ बीन टेस्टेड फॉर लॉन्च एंड असेंट. आपका लॉन्च स्टेज, असेंट स्टेज एंड देन री एंट्री स्टेज. तो लॉन्च और असेंट स्टेज के लिए मेरा क्रू एस्केप सिस्टम हैज़ ऑल्सो बीन टेस्टेड. नाउ लेट अस गो बैक. आपने करंट अफेयर्स में ये दो न्यूज़ पढ़ी थी. आई थिंक नाउ इट मेक्स सेंस. वी ऑल्सो नो व्हाट इज गगनयान मिशन, व्हाट आर द इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स अराउंड इट, व्हाट डू आई अंडरस्टैंड बाय क्रू मॉड्यूल, सर्विस मॉड्यूल. मुझे रटना नहीं है, मुझे समझना है, राइट. दीज आर द इम्पॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ इट. एंड व्हाट इज नाउ HLVM3? दिस इज ह्यूमन rated launch vehicle Mark 3. It also consists of the crew escape system, which I have simply told you right now. It will be by the set of quick acting high burn solid motors. तो मेरा crew escape system will use solid fuel motor, or the fuel that will be used is solid fuel. The motors will be according to the solid fuel, and it will ensure that the crew module along with the crew is taken to a safe distance in case during the launch or during the ascent there is an emergency. Alright, so hopefully according to ISRO, I think 2 days back ISRO released a statement that all the systems related to Gaganyaan mission have successfully been tested. So if everything goes well, by the mid of this year or by the end of the year of 2023, India will launch the ambitious Gaganyaan mission. Now coming to another very very important mission, which is the Aditya L1 mission. Now why Aditya L1 mission is important? You have to understand Moon, Sun and Mars. These are the three areas which are very aggressively being explored by almost every space agency. The reason for understanding Sun is to understand the genesis, the progress as well as the death of a star. To understand why the universe is expanding, what are the limits to the universe, I simply have taken a small star. You know, sun is basically a very small star. वो इतना छोटा स्टार है that it will not even be able to make a black hole. तो हम ये भी पढ़ेंगे in the next part of the lecture. We will talk about the journey of a star because I have to teach you black hole and gravitational waves for the crash course. तो मैंने सबसे पहले सोलर पार्कर प्रोब बनाया. किसने? नासा. और नासा का जो सोलर पार्कर प्रोब था, उसके बाद स्टडीज़ में ये पाया गया कि ओके, I understood why solar flares are having an interference with my communication system, with my GPS system, with my satellites, etc. तो जो इसरो का आदित्य L1 मिशन है, आदित्य L1 मिशन basically wants to study the outer layer of the sun. These are the different reasons given by ISRO for the study of this mission. हम पहले sun को समझते हैं and then we will come back to this particular slide. This is the structure of the sun. Now I want you to very carefully listen and then you will be able to understand this. Sun में आपकी होती है fusion energy. What is fusion energy? When two very small particles they fuse together or merge together to form a bigger particle, then that is called as nuclear fusion. Now here the word is used as nuclear fusion. आपका जो universe है, it is based on 4 types of energy. The magnetic force or the electromagnetic force, the gravitational force, the weak nuclear forces and the strong nuclear forces. Weak nuclear forces का example है neutrinos. Weak nuclear forces का example है interaction with photons. Strong nuclear forces का example है जो आपका atom structure होता है. Atomic structure क्या होता है? It is electron along with proton and neutron. This is my atom. Electron which has a negative charge, proton which has a positive charge and neutron which has no charge. They together create an atom. और ये जो atom है, इस atomic structure से अगर छेड़छाड़ होती है द अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी रिलीज्ड इज वेरी हाई। न्यूक्लियर फिजन हो, जो कि न्यूक्लियर रिएक्टर में यूज होता है, एटॉमिक बॉम्ब में यूज होता है। फिजन में क्या होता है कि एक बड़ा एलिमेंट है यूरेनियम और उसके टुकड़े हो रहे हैं, और इस प्रोसेस में जो एनर्जी रिलीज हो रही है वो क्या है, फिजन एनर्जी। फ्यूजन एनर्जी इज मच मोर विगरस, इट इज मोर हायर देन दी फिजन एनर्जी। फ्यूजन एनर्जी ये किस में होती है, सन में होती है, स्टार्स में होती है। इसमें क्या होता है, छोटे एलिमेंट्स जैसे कि हाइड्रोजन, हाइड्रोजन का आइसोटोप ड्यूटेरियम, ये फ्यूज करते हैं और हीलियम बनाते हैं जो कि एक बड़ा एलिमेंट। दिस इज कॉल्ड एज द फ्यूजन एनर्जी। और फ्यूजन एनर्जी में द अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी रिलीज्ड इज एक्सट्रीमली हाई। ह्यूमंस हैव आल्सो स्टार्टेड द आर्टिफिशियल सन प्रोजेक्ट, जिसको टॉकमार्क रिएक्टर, हमने एक डोनट शेप रिएक्टर बनाया है जिसमें वी आर ट्राइंग टू अचीव द फ्यूजन एनर्जी। आई वांट यू टू रिमेंबर दिस व्हेन वी विल बी डूइंग टॉकमार्क। ओके, सो अब ये मेरा सन है, सन के अंदर यहाँ पर फ्यूजन एनर्जी हो रही है। देयर इज फ्यूजन एनर्जी दैट इज हैपनिंग हियर। दीज आर कन्वेक्टिव जोन्स, दिस इज कन्वेक्टिव जोन। व्हाट डू आई मीन बाय कन्वेक्टिव जोन, कि ये जो एनर्जी धीरे धीरे आउटर सरफेस तक जा रही है, और ये जो आउटर सरफेस, कोर से आउटर सरफेस की तरफ जो जा रही है एनर्जी, इसको बोला जाता है रेडिएटिव जोन। और ये कन्वेक्टिव जोन के थ्रू मेरे आउटर मोस्ट लेयर पर जा रही है, विच इज द हॉटेस्ट लेयर ऑफ सन, विच इज कॉल्ड एज द क्रोमोस्फेयर। द हॉटेस्ट लेयर ऑफ द सन और द आउटर मोस्ट लेयर ऑफ द सन इज कॉल्ड एज द क्रोमोस्फेयर। और ये जो क्रोमोस्फेयर है, इसमें इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग ये एनर्जी होती है, ये कंपैरेटिवली थिन लेयर है, गर्म है पर ये कंपैरेटिवली थिन लेयर है। और यहाँ पर आई फाइंड दैट द एंटायर रीजन इज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ प्लाज्मा। अब बच्चे, प्लाज्मा क्या होता है, जल्दी रिवाइज करते हैं। आई हैव 4 स्टेजेस ऑफ मैटर। द फर्स्ट स्टेज इज द सॉलिड स्टेज, लिक्विड स्टेज, gaseous stage, and when heat is applied, then it becomes the plasma stage. Then plasma is the ionized stage, and in this stage the energy of the particles is very high, right? Plasma TV, for example, is used for better picture quality because of the use of light, right? तो मेरा ये जो क्रोमोस्फेयर होता है, the outermost layer, it is in the state of plasma, और इसमें से अब यहाँ से हमको समझना है the energy is released in the form of these high energized particles such as the corona. Corona क्या है? Corona is this, if you see this arrow is not even touching the surface. ये outermost surface के just बाहर वाला जो area which is superheated has very highly energized particle, it is called as corona. It looks like a crown. कोरोना का मतलब होता है क्राउन। तो आप जब सन को देखते हैं तो उसकी वो जो एक सुंदर सा आउटर लेयर होता है, दैट रिंग, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज कोरोना, विच हैज़ वेरी हाई एनर्जाइज पार्टिकल्स। और ये जो हाई एनर्जाइज पार्टिकल्स होते हैं, अगर इस पर्टिकुलर एरिया में लेट अस से कि बहुत ज़्यादा हीट प्रोड्यूस हो गई है, तो इट इवन रिलीजेज सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ मास, जिसको बोला जाता है कोरोनल मास इजेक्शन, CME, कोरोनल मास इजेक्शन। और ये जो कोरोनल मास इजेक्शन है या कोरोनल स्ट्रीमर्स, स्ट्रीम किसको बोला जाता है? नदी को। तो ये हाई एनर्जी पार्टिकल्स एज अ स्ट्रीम दे गो आउट टू माइल्स इनटू द सोलर सिस्टम एंड यूनिवर्स, और ये फिर इंटरफेयर करते हैं, इंटरैक्ट करते हैं अर्थ की मैग्नेटिक फील्ड से। वेरी क्विकली लेट अस रिवाइज। सन का सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी है न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन। न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन में द आइसोटोप्स ऑफ हाइड्रोजन आर फ्यूजिंग टू बिकम हीलियम। व्हेन दे आर फ्यूजिंग टू बिकम हीलियम, ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ एनर्जी इज रिलीज्ड। तो कोर से ये एनर्जी रेडिएटिव जोन से होती हुई आपकी कन्वेक्टिव जोन के बाद क्रोमोस्फेयर में आती है। क्रोमोस्फेयर है ऊपर की थिन लेयर बट सुपर हीटेड लेयर ऑफ द सन। क्रोमोस्फेयर के ऊपर हाईली एनर्जाइज पार्टिकल एक क्राउन शेप क्रिएट करते हैं, विच इज कॉल्ड एज कोरोना। फ्रॉम दिस कोरोना रीजन आई फाइंड कोरोनल स्ट्रीमर्स, coronal mass ejection, which interact with the magnetic field of other planets or other terrestrial objects or other objects of the solar system such as Earth. I am interested in understanding these interactions with the Earth. So when I say that I have launched Aditya mission to not just understand the solar structure or the overall life and functioning of the sun and how it interacts. I am also interested in knowing how these different plasma or different types of energized particles interact with the earth. इसमें एक और चीज़ है कि आपको ये डार्क स्पॉट्स दिख रहे हैं. आई विल कम बैक टू these are also called as coronal holes and sometimes called as sunspots. Okay, so we'll come back to this. Now let us take each term one by one. What is a geomagnetic storm? For your exam, what is important is geomagnetic storm, which is the disturbance in the Earth's magnetosphere. What is the magnetosphere? It is basically Earth's magnetic field creates this magnetosphere. Earth में there is a north pole and a south pole. Why does Earth has magnetism? Because of the presence of iron and nickel in the core. तो Earth का जो ये magnetic field है, इसमें disturbance होता है because of sun. And who causes or what causes this disturbance? It is when the coronal mass ejection collides with the Earth. Now we understand coronal mass ejection. तो ये जो कोरोना से highly energized particles आते हैं, they interact with the magnetosphere of the Earth and it causes different types of disturbances. So what is CME or coronal mass ejection? It is the large expulsion of plasma and magnetic field from the sun's corona or the upper atmosphere. What is its impact? The impact of geomagnetic storms, which is due to the interaction of CME or coronal mass ejection with the Earth's magnetosphere, it disrupts the high frequency radio broadcast. आपका जो रेडियो ब्रॉडकास्टिंग होती है वो डिस्टर्ब हो जाती है, GPS ग्लोबल पोजीशनिंग डिस्टर्ब हो जाती है, आपके जो सैटेलाइट्स हैं वो डैमेज हो सकते हैं और आपकी पावर सप्लाई भी अफेक्ट हो जाती है. सो हमने सबसे पहले गगनयान मिशन समझा, उसके सारे पार्ट समझे, व्हाट इज द पर्पस ऑफ गगनयान मिशन एंड द important points. Then we went on to the next mission, which is my Aditya L1 mission, and I understood what are the different phenomena which are related to the interaction of sun and earth. Why? Because Aditya mission is talking about those phenomena. I understood about the geomagnetic storm. Now I am understanding other phenomena such as coronal holes. Now what are coronal holes? Coronal holes मैंने आपको बताया था वो जो डार्क स्पॉट्स थे. कोरोनल होल क्या होता है कि आपका जो लेटर से कोई स्टार है उसमें किसी एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया में बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. व्हेन देयर इज सच स्ट्रॉन्ग मैग्नेटिक फील्ड देन इट डज नॉट अलाउ द हीटेड पार्टिकल्स और प्लाज्मा टू रीच द सरफेस. तो वो जो एक पर्टिकुलर एरिया होता है जहाँ पे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग है जिसकी वजह से वो हीटेड पार्टिकल्स सरफेस तक नहीं जा पाते, तो वो एरिया हो जाता है कंपैरेटिवली, दैट एरिया बिकम्स कंपैरेटिवली कोल्डर कंपेयर टू द एडजॉइनिंग एरियाज एंड इट स्टार्ट्स अपीयरिंग डार्कर. आई रिपीट, व्हेनेवर देयर इज स्ट्रॉन्ग मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इट डज नॉट अलाउ द heated ionized particles to reach the surface, which creates a certain depression, or this region does not have that much heated elements compared to the surrounding elements, and then it appears like holes. So they have comparatively lower temperature. Now let us read from here. This is what it says. Coronal holes are the regions on the sun's surface where fast solar winds gush out of the space. First important point. Why does it happen? What is this region? This is the region where the fast solar winds are gushing out of the sun's surface into the space. Again, ये interact करेंगी earth से, hence we are interested. They contain very little solar material and have comparatively lower temperatures. इसलिए ये darker appear करते हैं. There is a cycle of 11 years even for this to happen. So why does it happen, this unique phenomena, and it causes solar storm also, that we will understand through sunspots. ठीक है? So what are sunspots? Again, sunspots are the area that appear darker on the surface of the sun. Why do they appear darker? Because they are cooler than the other parts of the sun's surface. ये कुछ similar लग रहा है to coronal holes, right? If it is pertaining only to the coronal region, then they are called coronal holes. If they are anywhere else on the sun, then it is called sunspots. The basic funda is still same. What is that basic funda? That these spots are relatively cool. Why are they relatively cool? Because they form at areas where magnetic fields are particularly strong, thus keeping some of the heat within the sun reaching to the surface. Exactly what I said, that they do not allow the heat to reach to the surface. And the magnetic field lines near the sunspots can cause sudden explosion of energy called as solar flare. So what we know is solar flare. What is the origin of the solar flare? Sunspot. So what is a solar flare? It is the intense localized eruption of electromagnetic radiation. Coronal holes क्या था? Sudden gushing out of solar winds. Similar है, right? So what leads to these? These are result of sunspots. Why sunspots are created? Because of intense or very strong magnetic field in a localized area, which results into that particular area having comparatively lower temperature than the adjoining areas. So I hope now we understand these basic terminologies, we understand the structure of the sun also. Now let us go back to the objective of Aditya 1 mission. So it says that Aditya 1 mission aims at study of the solar upper atmosphere, chromosphere and corona dynamics. Now we understand what are these corona dynamics. The study of chromospheric and coronal heating, the ionized particles, the coronal mass ejections and the flares. We know all these terminologies now. To observe the in situ particle and plasma environment. So basically you will park this particular orbiter or this particular device at a Lagrange point L1. We will understand what are Lagrange points also. This mission aims to study the solar corona and the heating mechanism, coronal and coronal loop plasma, to understand the dynamics and origin of coronal mass ejection, and to identify the sequences that occur at multiple levels and which leads to solar eruptive events. Magnetic field topology, magnetic field measurements where in the solar corona, and the composition, dynamics and the origin of solar wind. So I think now we understand all of these concepts. Now one concept which is left is, what does L1 stands in this mission? Aditya means sun. So this is a mission to understand sun. Which part of sun I am interested in? The outermost part, which is called as the chromosphere. On chromosphere there is corona. Corona is related to coronal mass ejection, solar flares, sunspots and coronal holes. Now coming to the Lagrange point. Lagrange points are also called as the parking spaces in the space. Now what do I mean by parking spaces in the space? Basically कि जहाँ अगर मैंने अपना इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑर्बिटर या सैटेलाइट पार्क कर दिया या छोड़ दिया तो मुझे बार बार फ्यूल नहीं देना पड़ेगा, बार बार उसको मूव नहीं करना पड़ेगा. दैट मीन्स द रिजल्टेंट इफेक्ट ऑफ द gravitational force on that particular area will not affect my device. I will repeat why it is called as the parking space. So a Lagrange point is a location in space where the combined gravitational forces of two large bodies, these large bodies can be Earth and Moon, Earth and Sun, Earth and Mars, etc. Right. The combined gravitational forces of two large bodies is equal to the centrifugal force which is felt by a much smaller third body. Now here the much smaller third body can be the satellite, can be the orbiter, can be the probe. And the interaction of the forces creates a point of equilibrium where the spacecraft may be parked to make the observation. Why am I parking it here? क्योंकि ना ही इस एरिया पे किसी का ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स का असर होगा, यानी रिजल्टेंट ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स इज इक्वल टू दी सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स. तो ये जो मेरा डिवाइस है ये एक ही जगह पार्क रहेगा और ऑब्जर्वेशन कैन बी डन फॉर अ लॉन्गर टाइम. सो नाउ दिस concludes the Aditya mission, and now we will move on to the third topic, which is the Chandrayaan 3 mission. Now why Chandrayaan 3 mission is important? Because Chandrayaan 3 mission will do what Chandrayaan 2 mission could not do, that is the controlled soft landing of a rover on the lunar soil. अब कुछ चीज़ें let us discuss जो कि मून मिशन से रिलेटेड इम्पॉर्टेंट है. मून मिशंस आर एक्सट्रीमली इम्पॉर्टेंट for your prelims, for your mains. Reason being, India and the world are very extensively conducting different types of missions, manned missions, unmanned missions, rover missions, orbiter missions for sun and moon. तो moon में आपका जो इंडिया का लेटेस्ट मिशन है दैट इज माय चंद्रयान 3 मिशन। ठीक है, तो चंद्रयान 3 मिशन में देयर आर 3 मेजर मॉड्यूल। सबसे पहले तो प्रोपल्शन, वहां तक मेरे को लेके जाना है अपना लैंडर और रोवर। सो द फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल इज माय प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल, then I have my lander module, and then I have my rover module. What is a rover? Which will move like a small vehicle. It will move on the lunar surface or on the surface of the moon and conduct in situ experiments. What is in situ? On the location. ठीक है, जो आपका अपोलो मिशन था, अपोलो मिशन की जो सॉइल थी, now scientists have very successfully created bricks out of those, combining that soil with the other elements. तो मुझे 3-4 चीज़ों के लिए वहाँ पर अपना रोवर भेजना है। क्या करना है मुझे वहाँ पे? इन सीटू केमिकल एनालिसिस करना है। मुझे वहाँ पर हाइड्रोजन एज अ फ्यूल यूज़ हो सकता है क्या, इसकी पॉसिबिलिटी के लिए हाइड्रोजन ढूंढना है और वहाँ पर पानी भी ढूंढना है। सो व्हाट डज दिस मिशन एम एट? 1. द प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल, द फर्स्ट मॉड्यूल विल कैरी द लैंडर एंड द रोवर टिल 100 किलोमीटर्स लूनर ऑर्बिट। तो पहले ये लूनर ऑर्बिट के बहुत पास ले आएंगे। द लैंडर विल हैव द कैपेबिलिटी टू सॉफ्ट लैंड एट अ स्पेसिफिक लूनर साइट, और वहाँ पर इट विल डिप्लॉय द रोवर विच विल कैरी आउट इन सीटू केमिकल एनालिसिस ऑफ द लूनर सरफेस ड्यूरिंग इट्स मोबिलिटी। नाउ दिस इज व्हाट चंद्रयान 2 मिशन वॉज, राइट। चंद्रयान 2 मिशन इज अ पार्शियल सक्सेस। आपकी सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग नहीं अचीव हो पाई थी, बट आपका जो ऑर्बिटर है इट हैज गिवन सफिशिएंट इंफॉर्मेशन फॉर मी टू हैव अ बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग विद माय चंद्रयान 3 मिशन, एंड दिस इंफॉर्मेशन इज ऑल्सो हेल्पिंग आर्टेमिस मिशन। अब ये आर्टेमिस मिशन क्या है? आर्टेमिस मिशन नासा का मिशन है जिसके बारे में हम पढ़ेंगे। हमको आर्टेमिस के बारे में पढ़ना इसलिए इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि चंद्रयान के साथ ये मिशन कंटेम्प्रेरी होगा ना। तो आपने लॉन्च व्हीकल कौन सा यूज किया था? GSLV Mark II। GSLV यानी क्रायोजेनिक इंजन। हाउ मेनी स्टेजेस? 3 स्टेजेस, सॉलिड स्टेज, लिक्विड स्टेज एंड क्रायोजेनिक स्टेज। विच इज द फ्यूल विच इज यूज्ड एट द क्रायोजेनिक स्टेज? लिक्विड हाइड्रोजन एट अ वेरी लो टेम्परेचर, सो हेंस क्रायोजेनिक। तो दिस पर्टिकुलर लॉन्च व्हीकल was carrying Chandrayaan 2 spacecraft, right? And it took this spacecraft closer to the moon's orbit. ये आपका moon's orbit है, right? यहाँ पर ये मैंने ऑर्बिटर जो है उससे डिटैच कर दिया रोवर वाली यूनिट को, and using these parachutes I attempted a soft landing by lander and rover. दिक्कत क्या हुई? Orbiter was intact and for the very long time it is giving the information also, but this soft landing could not be done. ये नहीं हो पाई और आपका जो सिग्नल था that was lost. So we will attempt this landing again, this soft landing again. So now let us understand what are the different aspects of Chandrayaan 3 mission, what we are trying to find, what do we already know and what does the future hold. तो सबसे पहले there are 3 things that I need you to remember for your exam. 1. Be it Artemis mission, be it Chandrayaan mission, be it Chang'e mission, be it Luna missions of Russia, all of these missions, which are the missions to moon, are focusing on the south pole of the moon. That is also called as the dark side of the moon. Now, why are they focusing on south side? क्यों ये south pole of the moon या dark side of the moon में interested है? Because 1. The craters have been untouched by sunlight for billions of years. हमको ऐसे ही याद करना है 1 to 3 पॉइंट्स। इट हैज़ ऑलमोस्ट 100 मिलियन टन्स ऑफ वाटर कैपेसिटी एंड इट हैज़ ट्रेसेस ऑफ हाइड्रोजन, अमोनिया, मीथेन, सोडियम, मरकरी, सिल्वर एज वेल एज अनटैप्ड सोर्सेज ऑफ नेचर। इसमें से जो इंपॉर्टेंट है दैट इज हाइड्रोजन, अमोनिया एंड मीथेन। मीथेन विच बेसिकली कभी भी आप अगर देखें, आप अगर मार्स मिशन भी देखेंगे तो उसमें अलग से मीथेन सेंसर्स बनाए थे। क्यों मैंने मीथेन सेंसर्स एज अ पेलोड भेजे थे मंगलयान मिशन में या मार्स मिशन में? बिकॉज इफ देर इज प्रेजेंस ऑफ मीथेन देर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ लाइफ ऑन दैट प्लैनेट. सो आई एम बेसिकली ट्राइंग टू नॉट जस्ट गेट टू नो इफ देर आर सर्टन रिसोर्सेज, क्योंकि मून भी वैसे ही बना है जैसे अर्थ. इनफैक्ट मून इज बिलीव्ड टू बी पार्ट ऑफ द अर्थ कंपोजिशनली. तो अगर अर्थ में जो रिसोर्सेज हैं तो वो रिसोर्सेज मून में भी होंगी. तो पहली चीज आई वांट टू नो द रिसोर्सेज. व्हाई एम आई फोकसिंग सो मच ऑन वाटर? Because one, I can ensure that the human life can survive on moon if there is already availability of water. Second, don't you think moon will act as a very beautiful pit stop for further exploration? आपको मार्स तक जाना है, you have created a pit stop at moon. Rather than creating an international space station, I have created a space station on moon, so that I can further carry on my space exploration, right? So resources, supporting human life, and to act as a pit stop for further space exploration, the scientists, the space agencies are interested in moon. And within moon also, the southern part of the moon, or the south pole of the moon, or the dark side of the moon. Why? Because it does not, और it is not yet explored much, तो उसमें बहुत सारी resources मिलने का चांस है. तो let us now know कि चंद्रयान 1-2 से हमको अब तक क्या पता चला है. पहली चीज़, चंद्रयान मिशन was the first mission to moon which established that there is presence of water on moon. चंद्रयान 1 ने पहली बार मून का प्रॉपर मैप बना के दिया था पूरी दुनिया. चंद्रयान 2 मिशन provided the unique signatures of both hydroxyl molecule as well as water molecule. It established the presence of chromium and manganese, detection of sodium for the first time, presence of water on all latitudes. Again, अभी तक मुझे the known side of the moon में तो पता था, not on the dark side, but now it established that water is present on all the latitudes of the moon. And it helped in understanding the magnetic revolution of the celestial body. इसने ocean magma theory भी prove करी. What do I understand by ocean magma theory? That moon was once a molten object, and then because of its movement has solidified over the time. So cooling and solidification जो हमको पता था. Apart from that, जो चंद्रयान 2 में I had another payload which was CHAS, CHACE, CHAS-2, which stands for Chandra's Atmospheric Composition Explorer 2. इसने क्या पता लगाया है? That there is presence of argon-40 which is a noble gas, and creep. बच्चे ये creep क्या है? creep यानी कि पोटेशियम, रेयर अर्थ एलिमेंट्स एंड फॉस्फोरस. कहाँ पर? साउथ पोल पर. ठीक है, साउथ पोल में जो क्रेटर एरिया है वहाँ पर आई हैव फाउंड आर्गन एज इन द फॉर्म ऑफ आर्गन बल्ज एंड क्रीप विच स्टैंड्स फॉर पोटेशियम, रेयर अर्थ एलिमेंट्स एंड फॉस्फोरस. तो मैंने टॉपिक शुरू किया किससे? चंद्रयान 3 से, कि चंद्रयान 3 क्या करना चाहता है. प्रोपल्शन मॉड्यूल, लैंडर मॉड्यूल, रोवर मॉड्यूल के साथ इट विल अटेम्प्ट सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग टू डू व्हाट? टू वन एनालाइज वाटर presence on moon, to see if hydrogen as a fuel can be used. Third, to do the in situ chemical analysis. उसके बाद हमने देखा कि चंद्रयान 2 और 1 से हमको क्या क्या मिला है. Why we are analyzing the south pole, what are the findings of चंद्रयान 1 and 2. आपका argon 40 and creep are another important findings, and this is done through the analysis of the volcanic rocks of moon. तो ये जो क्रीप भी मुझे मिला है, ये कैसे मिला है? दी साइंटिस्ट ऑफ इंडिया थ्रू दी लैब ऑफ अहमदाबाद, USA and Japan together, they have found that the basaltic meteorite, the moon surface has creep in it. It is in very low quantity, but it has been found. What is creep? Again, potassium, rare earth elements and phosphorus. So this was about the Chandrayaan mission. Now, since we are reading Chandrayaan mission, we should have the understanding of Artemis 1 also. Artemis mission is a mission by NASA. NASA का ये जो मिशन है, इसको बोला जाता है the continuation of Apollo mission. Apollo is a Greek god, और इन Greek god की एक twin sister है. Apollo is called as the Greek god, the sun god, और his twin sister is called as Artemis, who is the goddess of moon, also called as the goddess of beauty. तो आर्टेमिस नाम वहाँ से पड़ा है. अपोलो मिशन वही था जिसमें नील आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग फर्स्ट लैंडेड ऑन मून. तो नील आर्मस्ट्रॉन्ग लैंडेड ऑन मून, कलेक्टेड सम सैम्पल्स ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज मून सॉइल और ल्यूनर सॉइल, जिसके ऊपर एक्सपेरिमेंट्स करे जा रहे हैं, जिसके बारे में मैंने आपको बताया कि ब्रिक हैज़ बीन मेड यूजिंग द कॉम्पोनेंट्स. तो आपका आर्टेमिस मिशन जो है इट इज़ अ सीरीज ऑफ मिशन, इनफैक्ट इट इज़ वन ऑफ द मोस्ट एम्बिशियस प्रोजेक्ट, इसलिए ये एग्जाम के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है। क्यों? क्योंकि आर्टेमिस मिशन आर्टेमिस 1, 2 और 3 के फॉर्म में होगा। अब इसको समझिए एज अ स्टोरी। दिस इज द इंफोग्राफिक विच यू कैन पॉज एंड गो थ्रू इट, बट मेक योर रनिंग नोट्स राइट नाउ। चलो, तो आर्टेमिस मिशन में हम कर क्या रहे हैं? आर्टेमिस 1 जो है पहले एक जनरल एनालिसिस करेगा। व्हाट इट इज़? आपका एक ओरायन कैप्सूल है। बेसिकली ये टेक्नोलॉजी डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन कर रहा है ओरायन कैप्सूल का, कि फ्यूचर में ये जो ओरायन कैप्सूल है विल इट बी एबल टू सपोर्ट ह्यूमन फ्लाइट और नॉट। तो आई विल टेक दिस ओरायन कैप्सूल विद इन 97 किलोमीटर्स ऑफ ल्यूनर सर्फेस बिफोर फ्लाइंग बैक टू अर्थ, एंड ये जो है इट विल मेक अ स्प्लैश डाउन एट सी बाय December 11। ओके, आर्टेमिस 2 में इसमें मैं क्या कर रही हूँ? आई एम सेंडिंग डमी पैसेंजर्स, आई एम नॉट सेंडिंग ह्यूमन क्रू, आई एम सेंडिंग डमी पैसेंजर्स टू सी कि ये जो कैप्सूल है वो सपोर्ट कर पाता है या नहीं। इज दिस कैप्सूल एबल टू सपोर्ट द ह्यूमन पैसेंजर्स टू मून और नॉट। In Artemis 2, then I will take it much closer to lunar surface, and in Artemis 3, I shall send the first man or woman through NASA on the moon to stay on moon and do some experiments, right? So this is Artemis 1, 2 and 3. Currently कौन सा part इसका launch होने वाला है? Artemis 1. By the year 2025-26, Artemis 3 will be concluded. So let us take the details of Artemis 1 mission. It is an uncrewed mission. What is uncrewed mission? No human shall be used in this mission. So first point is it is an uncrewed mission of NASA. Again, it is named after the sister of Apollo in the Greek mythology, and it is a successor of Apollo's lunar mission. Apollo का lunar mission क्या था? The Neil Armstrong mission. इसमें दो important टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं जिनका टेस्ट हो रहा है. वन, द लॉन्च सिस्टम विच इज़ द SLS, Space Launch System rocket, which is believed to be the most powerful launch rocket of the world, and the Orion crew capsule, both extremely important for your prelims. The Space Launch System जो कि launch vehicle है, जैसे कि आपके चंद्रयान मिशन में launch vehicle was GSLV, गगनयान मिशन में the launch vehicle is GSLV. इसी तरह आर्टेमिस का जो launch vehicle system है that is my SLS और Space Launch System, and the Orion crew capsule which will carry or ferry the humans in the future. So ये जो largest vertical launch vehicle system है ये शुरुआत हुई थी Saturn के जो rockets मैंने launch किए थे उनसे, right? When in the years 1960 and 70. What is the primary goal? Now this is where the prelims marker is. What is the primary goal of Artemis 1? To demonstrate Orion system in space flight environment and to ensure safe re-entry. हमको re-entry ensure करनी है. Why did Kalpana Chawla die? Kalpana Chawla died along with her crew because the re-entry was not safe or was not successful. So I need to make sure that the re-entry is successful and the splashdown. What is the splashdown? जब आप वापस आते हैं, descent करते हैं, तो generally you use water bodies where the capsules are extracted. तो वो जो descent है या splashdown है should be safe. And this recovery prior to the first flight with the crew on Artemis 2. तो आप पहले Artemis 1 में एक general demonstration करेंगे. Artemis 2 में you will take the crew closer, and Artemis 3 will be completely a experiment for understanding lunar surface better. Why this is significant? Now these are all extremely important points. Artemis mission is extremely important. Why? Because you are using the technology to transport the humans to new worlds. Understand, it is not just going to stop at moon. It is starting with the moon. After moon, it will be the Mars. We all know that be it Elon Musk, a private entrepreneur, or even Saudi Arabia has a Hope mission to Mars. Like, Saudi Arabia, which does not even have a proper space program, is also having missions to Mars, planning to have a mission to Mars, etc. Why? Because now the next reality or the next colonization will be the colonization of the different planets. So it will achieve the promise of transporting the humans to the new worlds. इसमें I will be using very specified or very specific payloads, satellites such as CubeSats. तो CubeSat का क्या काम होगा इन satellites का? Let us say for searching water, for assessing whether hydrogen can be used as a source of energy. And it will also conduct biology experiment. Why it will conduct biology experiment? To see कि deep space atmosphere humans के साथ कैसे interact करता है या human के ऊपर क्या effect होता है. And for that, what am I going to use? I will use dummy passenger. I am not using human passenger in Artemis 1. I am using dummy passengers. किसमें? Orion capsule में. क्यों यूज़ कर रही हूँ dummy passenger? To see कि deep space atmosphere का humans पे क्या असर होता है. So this is about Artemis 1 mission. Artemis 2 mission will take place in the year 2024. It will have a crew on board. It will have a crew on board, and it will be tested to the whole crew, and the movement of the crew to the outer space will be tested to confirm that all of the spacecraft's systems are functioning well with the humans on board also. But it will be similar to Artemis 1 क्योंकि आप केवल मून के आसपास इनको लेके जा रहे हैं. आप मून पर लॉन्च नहीं कर रहे हैं ह्यूमंस को. यू आर नॉट allowing the humans to get down on moon. That will be done in Artemis 3, which is scheduled by 2025-26, which will ferry or take the astronauts to the moon for the first time after the Apollo mission. So we started the moon missions with Chandrayaan 3 mission, understood Chandrayaan 1 and 2. Then we moved on to the Artemis 1 mission. We understood the significance of Artemis mission and what is Artemis 2 and 3 have in bag for us. So these were your 3 very important missions. Now coming to next part, which is very important for your exam, that is the role of private sector in the India space program. This is something that has been observed, that government and ISRO is pushing for the private sectors to not just participate in the space technology development, but is also doing technological transfer and collaborations. So first of all, for your prelims, you need to know these initiatives, which are the InSpace, which is extremely important. We'll discuss it in detail. Then you launched a new company, a public sector enterprise, which is NSIL, which stands for New Space India Limited. It is country's first public sector undertaking in the space sector and the commercial arm of ISRO. Abhi tak I knew that the commercial arm of ISRO was Antariksh. But this commercial arm of ISRO aims at production and marketing of space-based services. For example, आपने थोड़े दिन पहले अप्रैल में सुना होगा, अप्रैल 2023 में, कि GSLV यूज़ करके I have done commercial launching of multiple communication satellites of a private company. So what am I doing here? I am marketing my space-based services. Launching satellites is also a space-based service. इसके लिए मैंने कौन सी एंटरप्राइज बनाई है? NSIL. Next is the Indian Space Association. Now what is Indian Space Association? When it is launched? 2021. It is the apex, most important. It is a non-profit industry body. ये basically all the industry people who are planning to put their money into space industry, they together, this is basically businessmen जो हैं, जो आपके प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स हैं या जो बिजनेस एंटिटीज़ हैं, कमर्शियल एंटिटीज़ हैं, उन्होंने मिलकर एक एसोसिएशन बनाई है जिसका नाम है इंडियन स्पेस एसोसिएशन. इन्होंने ये एसोसिएशन क्यों बनाई है? ताकि ये साथ में काम कर सकें टू डेवलप द प्राइवेट एंड पब्लिक स्पेस इंडस्ट्री इन इंडिया. आफ्टर द सक्सेस ऑफ इलॉन मस्क, पीपल आर अंडरटेकिंग द फैक्ट दैट स्पेस इंडस्ट्री कैन ऑल्सो बी अ प्रॉफिटेबल बिजनेस. तो उसके लिए ये सारे प्लेयर्स ने मिलके जो एसोसिएशन बनाई है, दैट इज इंडियन स्पेस एसोसिएशन. ऑफ कोर्स वी नो व्हाट इज अंतरिक्ष. अंतरिक्ष इज द मार्केटिंग एंड कमर्शियल आर्म ऑफ इसरो टू हैंडल द इसरोज कमर्शियल डील्स. अब आपका NSIL इज फॉर मोस्टली डोमेस्टिक मार्केट and Antariksh is for international market. When you're signing MOUs with, let us say, NASA, European Space Agency, Canadian Space Agency, foreign customers, any foreign entity which wants to get its satellite launched, etc., for that Antariksh will work. Within the domestic market, NSIL will be working. Then you have extremely important program, which is the SEED program, which is a competitive early stage program for startups and as MSMEs to focus areas of interest to ISRO. आपने इसरो ने एक प्रोग्राम बनाया है which is a competitive program to encourage startups and MSMEs to move towards, invest and do the technological innovations in the areas of space industry. So now let us understand what is in space. मैंने आपसे बोला था हम इन स्पेस के बारे में पढ़ेंगे. तो सबसे पहले वापस आते हैं इन स्पेस, जिसके बारे में मैंने ज़्यादा लिखा नहीं. दूसरा NSIL. NSIL अंतरिक्ष के साथ आपका इसरो का एक कमर्शियल आर्म है. अंतरिक्ष फॉरेन एलिमेंट्स को, फॉरेन कंपनीज को, फॉरेन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को केटर कर रहा है. NSIL यानी न्यू स्पेस इंडिया लिमिटेड अगेन पब्लिक सेक्टर यूनिट है और ये प्रोडक्शन और मार्केटिंग कर रहा है स्पेस बेस्ड सर्विसेज की. ठीक है. देन आई हैव इंडियन स्पेस एसोसिएशन. किसकी? ऑल द बिजनेस पीपल, मार्केटिंग पीपल together have created this association. And then I have the seed initiative for MSMEs and startups. InSpace कहाँ है? गुजरात के हेडक्वार्टर पे ये मैंने एक नोडल एजेंसी बनाई है. दिस इज अ नोडल एजेंसी अंडर द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ स्पेस टू डू व्हाट? टू प्रमोट एंड ऑथराइज द स्पेस एक्टिविटीज ऑफ non-government private entities. You would have heard that a Bangalore-based industry has launched satellite. Ahmedabad-based industry, the Hyderabad-based industry is launched the satellite. तो इन सब को regulate करने, supervise करने और authorize करने के लिए I have created a center, a specialized center which is InSpace, which stands for Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center. So I have Antariksh, then I have the NSIL, which is for marketing, which is for promotion of space related products of ISRO in the private entity, and then to promote private people, to promote private companies to enter into space technology, I have created an authorization center which is in space. This is the composition, not important, but you might go through that. It should have a chairman, a technical expert, safety experts, people from academics and industry, and people from Prime Minister's office and Ministry of External Affairs. As we know, Department of Space directly answers to the Prime Minister's office. It shall be sharing the space infrastructure under the control of ISRO. So जैसा मैंने आपको कहा था, ISRO खुद अपना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और टेक्नोलॉजी शेयर करना चाहता है. It will be the center that will supervise it and to establish temporary facilities within ISRO to promote the private players, also to establish new space infrastructure and facility. The decisions of this particular center shall be final and binding, including ISRO. तो यानी it is not just any center, it also has the authority to, hence becomes important for your exam. Right? Now coming to another initiative in the area of space, that is स्पेस टेक इनोवेशन नेटवर्क और स्पिन. ये बेसिकली आपकी सोशल अल्फा नाम की एक बेंगलुरु बेस्ड एक NGO मान लीजिए, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है विच वर्क्स फॉर द प्रमोशन ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजिकल इंक्लिनेशन डेवलपमेंट इन वेरियस एरियाज. इसमें से जो स्पेस वाला एरिया है, स्पेस टेक्नोलॉजी, स्पेस एंटरप्रेन्योरल इकोसिस्टम क्रिएट करना, इंक्यूबेट करना, क्यूरेट करना, इसके लिए इसरो ने इनके साथ एक MOU साइन किया. लास्ट इट इज़ द इन्फ्लेटेबल एरोडायनेमिक डिसेलरेटर. ये एकदम से क्यों आ गया है? क्योंकि आपको करंट अफेयर्स की मटेरियल में मिलेगा. व्हाट इज़ दिस डिसेलरेटर? डिसेलरेटर बेसिकली इसरो ने एक टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप करी है विच विल बी यूज्ड फॉर द मिशंस ऑन वीनस एंड मार्स. राइट? व्हाट इज डिसेलरेशन? रिवर्स और एंटाई ऑफ एक्सेलरेशन. एक्सेलरेशन यानी किसी भी चीज़ की स्पीड को बढ़ाना, डिसेलरेशन उस स्पीड को कम करना. सो इट विल डिसेलरेट एन ऑब्जेक्ट डिसेंडिंग थ्रू द एटमॉस्फेयर एंड इट इज इंडिजिनसली प्रिपेयर्ड बाय इसरो. वाई इट इज important for your exam? Because it has huge potential in the space applications, especially for the various stages of rocket, and hence ये सेपरेटली आपका आ सकता है. बिकॉज वीनस मिशन अभी थोड़ा सा इट इज स्टिल इन द लिम्बो. मार्स मिशन अगेन, मंगलयान 2 मिशन इज ऑल्सो एट अ डिस्टेंस, बट हमने धीरे धीरे इसकी टेक्नोलॉजी पे काम करना शुरू कर दिया. इवन मंगलयान मिशन वी विल हैव अ क्विक रिविजन. वाई? बिकॉज नाउ फाइनली आफ्टर 8 years ऑफ लॉन्चिंग मंगलयान मिशन से सिग्नल आना बंद हो गया. मंगलयान मिशन मेड इंडिया द फर्स्ट country to have a successful mission to Mars in the first attempt. राइट. तो ये जो मैंने IAD बनाया है इसमें ये पॉइंट इंपॉर्टेंट है प्रीलिम्स के लिए. व्हाट इट इज़ मेड अप ऑफ? इट इज़ मेड अप ऑफ केवलार फैब्रिक. एंड केवलार फैब्रिक हैज़ हाई टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ, टफनेस एंड थर्मल स्टेबिलिटी। और ये केवलार फैब्रिक क्या करेगा, किसी भी एक ऑब्जेक्ट की स्पीड को कंट्रोल करेगा इन दी एटमॉस्फेयर अहेड ऑफ अर्थ, राइट, स्पेशली ड्यूरिंग द डिसेंडिंग टाइम। Now this is an infographic that I have taken from ISRO। जब मंगलयान ने पूरे 100 दिन पूरे किए थे, जब मंगलयान ने पूरे 100 दिन पूरे किए थे आफ्टर इट्स असेंट, तो दिस वाज द infographic that was released। So let us quickly revise what is Mangalyaan mission or Mars orbiter mission। It is an orbiter यानी like a satellite, it will orbit around Mars। It has a color camera to take the pictures of the surface। It has a photometer to assess the density of the photons which will come on the Martian planet or which descends on the Martian planet। It has thermal infrared imaging spectrometer again for creating a mineral map of Mars। It had a composition analyzer for exosphere to get an idea about the Martian exosphere or the type of atmosphere Mars has, and it had a methane sensor as well। So these were the payloads which were on the Mars mission। I will continue with the part 2 of the space technology। If you have any doubts, please reach out to us। I hope this small lecture helped you revise very important topics। Thank you so much. Have a good day।